When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do frequently update on my community tab. This is part 2 of What If Deku Caught the Eye of a Vampire. Lancelot was watching the battle on the sidelines as he clenched his small fist. Lancelot knows he's only 6 years old, but he doesn't like to be this helpless. Because of his intellect level, he knows there's not much he could do in his small body. After all, he's nothing but a normal boy. Somewhat. But he's limited on what he can do. I could sense your frustration, Master. Who goes there? Down here, Master. When Lancelot looked down upon his shadow, his eyes widened. See some sort of creature living in his shadows. All he could see is the singular eye, the huge singular eye, and a row of razor-sharp teeth that's out for display in his shadow. What are you? Chateau entity begins to cackle. What I am? They call us Shadowkin. We come in all different shapes and sizes, Master. Why are you keep calling me that? I'm not your master. But you are, Master. If you die, I die. We are connected. I could sense your desire to help these interesting creatures you call vampires. Regardless, what can I do? I'm just a 6-year-old boy. Normal? That's not something I would name you, Master. You're beyond normal. It's only natural. You are unaware of what you really are. You might think you're just some random human. But you're so much more, Void Walker. How the hell do you know that phrase, creature? All of the Shadowkin knows of the Void Walker. You're just the only one that managed to survive, to my current knowledge, Master. What the hell is a Void Walker? Exactly. In all good time, Master, in all good time. We need to deal with our current dilemma. I know you have questions, Master, but all will be revealed in time. But there's a way for you to help. To do so, it will be very unpleasant. What are you willing to sacrifice, Master? As the Shadowkin gave Lancelot, a predatory grin on his face, showing every single razor sharp teeth in the Shadowkin's mouth. I've read some fictional books about this kind of thing, like ideal. You would make with one of those devils. And like most deals, there's always a catch. Might be 6 years old, but I'm not naive. Shadowkin began to laugh and smile. My master is quite observant and quite intelligent. You see, master, you're under the delusion that you're just some random human. You're not. My presence is evidence enough, master. Every Void Walker has his or her own Shadowkin that comes into existence the moment they are born. They are connected. When the Void Walker gets stronger, the Voidkin gets stronger. Unfortunately, master, with our current situation, we would surely die. We've only survived this long because of the vampire's guardianship during our time in this orphanage. And yes, master, I've been in your shadow since the start. I was just too weak to do anything else but to gain my strength. Only now I have enough strength to reveal myself to you, master. But let's get back to the point, master. That glorified stick up his ass prick over there. The turkey. The angel will surely kill us both. And he'll most likely kill those vampires, those vampire women, as well, master. What are you getting at? It's quite simple. You're not entirely human. Right now, in your current form, you are completely human. But the moment your demonic blood or genes, not sure if you know that term yet, master, your genetic code is currently dormant. Once you activated your void energy and unlocking your void circuits, your demonic blood will become active, and it will slowly eat away at your humanity until you're a full-fledged void demon. Void demon. That's what you are, master. You're a void demon. You're in the most weakest and vulnerable stages during a void demon's early development, specifically the Void Walkers. When a void demon is first born, they almost seem to be human. But that's just an outer appearance. Wondered why you never got sick. Never thought why you don't get tired as fast as the rest of the little tasty humans at the orphanage. Or how you never really get hungry that often. How strong you are compared to the rest of the tasty snacks back at the orphanage. How you're far more intelligent compared to the others. How you're more focused. It's all aspects of being a void demon. Normally, your demonic blood would activate normally at the age of 12. But we don't have that luxury, unfortunately, Master. That chicken over there would very like to kill us. More specifically you, but I would die as well. So the semantics doesn't matter, Master. It's not a matter of if you will lose your humanity. It's a matter of when you will lose your humanity, Master. You cannot change that. You could fight it, but ultimately, you will lose. But what I have observed of you, Master, I don't think you would mind too much. We'll talk about that later. What do I have to do? As Victoria and Cassandra cross blades with the Angel Warrior, as Blood Sword and Shadow Sword collided with the Holy Sword of the Angel, the two vampires managed to push the Angel back by using their vampiric strength. That's what Lancelot saw in the corner of his eye. You have 3 choices, Master. As 3 tendrils came out of his shadows to display what he means. For more of a appearance to make his point across. You could wait until you're 12, but that option is not an option right now. As one of the tentacles went back to the shadows. Now, your second option, for you to die, I would advise against that. It's the fastest way to unlock your powers, your abilities. But a lot of things could go wrong with that method. And the third and final method, you would have to absorb a void energy orb in your body to jumpstart your demonic blood. You need to decide fast. We don't have a whole lot of time. The vampires won't be able to hold that angel off back for very long. Do it. I'll go with option 3. Very well, Master. Be warned, Master. Once the void energy enters your body, you will remain motionless while your spirit or soul travels into the void. Once you get there, you'll be given trials. What happens if I fail these trials? You would die, and your soul will be either eradicated or absorbed into the void. Both fates are not very pleasant, Master, so please, for us both, don't fail. We really don't have that kind of time for me to taking trials of an unknown origin. Don't worry, Master. Time runs differently in the void. Fine. Let's get this done. Brace yourself, Master. The shut-up creature created a void energy orb out of void energy on the tip of one of his tendrils and shot it out towards Lancelot coming out of Lancelot's shadow and rammed it into Lancelot's chest, slowly sinking into Lancelot's chest. Once the void energy entered his body fully, Lancelot's body begins to convulse as he collapsed to the ground. His eyes begin to roll the back of his head as black veins can be seen throughout his entire body. But because only the skin visible is his face, so there's black glowing veins appearing on his skin. Lancelot's entire body was engulfed by some sort of void energy cocoon looking thing that's made out of pure void energy. Victoria and Cassandra didn't notice Lancelot was in some sort of black cocoon that was made out of pure energy that later became solid. I know you're worried about him, but I need your full attention on this fight. Victoria grind her teeth. Understood, Mother Cassandra. Victoria doubled her efforts to defeat this opponent in front of her. As her motherly instincts start to kick in, Victoria started to fight more viciously. Victoria swung her sword at the angel, and she immediately reflected the holy weapon, making the angel temporarily unbalanced as his sword flew to the side, to the right a little bit. Angel finally recovered from the attack. It was already too late. Victoria landed a deadly palm strike in the middle of his chest, sending the angel into a nearby tree, forcing him to crush right through it. The tree shattered on impact as the angel begins to slide backwards as the angel slammed his holy weapon into the ground, slowing down his momentum. Victoria appeared right in front of the angel and kicked him towards Mother Cassandra. When she saw the angel was flying towards her, Cassandra channeled her magic through her magical circuits, infuse her body, her right arm, with mana, and slammed her fist into the angel's chest. The ground beneath the both of them began to crack, making a small crater underneath them, as the angel was sent flying back to Cassandra. But Cassandra did not stop there. She sent back to Victoria, but Cassandra did not stop there. She bolted after him, catching up with him easily, and continuously to slam her fist into the angel while he was flying towards Victoria. Victoria joined in and slammed her elbow into the angel's face in the middle of the exposed helmet. Both vampires begin to land combination strikes together using incredible speed and teamwork. One attack, the other one block, and vice versa. Cassandra landed a devastating magical infused fist into the angel's stomach. Then Victoria capitalized when Cassandra landed a uppercut, making the angel slightly airborne. Victoria kicked the holy sword out of the angel's hands and jumped up in the middle of the air, then kicked the handle of the holy sword with the palm of her foot as the sword was sent flying into the angel's chest, piercing his armor and cutting through his skin. As the other side of the sword came out of his back, as the angel slid to a stop and began to cough up blood, the angel started to laugh. I think we broke him, Mother Cassandra. This angel is batshit crazy. The angel grabbed onto the handle of the sword that's sticking out of his chest and slowly pull out his sword out of his chest as his wounds begin to glow and heal instantly, as his holy armor instantly begins to repair itself in front of the vampires. Is that all you have? I thought you blood-sucking parasites would at least be a challenge to me. So you parasites would give me a slightly better challenge than normal foes. That's why I allowed you to hit me so many times. He slammed his sword into the ground as it begins to crack underneath his sword, or where he slammed his sword into the ground. Now, blood-sucking parasites, I believe it's my turn. The angel moved so fast, the vampires couldn't keep up with him, with his movements, as the angel slammed his fist into Victoria, as he then he backhanded her in the face, sending Victoria into a nearby tree. The angel spun around and caught a magical infused fist, using his opposite hand to slam his fists into her stomach several times. He grabbed her and threw her to the side before she could get far enough away from him. He slammed his fist into her chest, making her go shooting off like a rocket right into the wall of the garden of the orphanage, cracking the stone wall on impact. The arrogance of you blood-sucking parasites think you could challenge me, an angel. You're not even on my level. To even think you had the gall to think you're on my level is blasphemy. You disgusting roaches. There is only one thing I hate more than humanity, is you blood-sucking parasites. You're parasites. You're no better than devils and demons. Parasites are not our betters. You're not even on our level. You're beneath us. As he grabbed a charging Cassandra and slammed her into the ground by slamming her face into the ground repeatedly. That's more like it. Now you know your proper place, in the dirt. You disgusting parasite. As he slammed his foot into her stomach repeatedly, as Cassandra began to scream out in pain. He picked her up by the hair and lifted her up in the middle of the air. You seem to like magic, parasite. I'll give you a taste of mine. He created a holy spear using his holy energy and stabbed her in the stomach as he twists the light spear in his hands. that's in Cassandra's stomach, making the female vampire scream out in pain, as her wound is clearly burning her. The light spear is clearly made out of holy energy, so it's clearly hurting her. Andra could feel her wound is burning. He pulled out his light spear, then slapped her away with his right angel wing as she went flying into a nearby tree. Meanwhile, in the glowing cocoon of void energy, Lancelot finally opened his eyes to find himself in the same place he's been dreaming about almost every night. The complete area is an endless void with no sign of life, nowhere to be seen. Only thing he noticed that wasn't in his dreams was a singular moon in the sky. Lancelot took a closer look at the moon. His eyes widened. What Lancelot thought was a moon was a humongous demon eye staring down upon him. That definitely wasn't in my dreams. How disgusting. He begins to walk. He doesn't know where he doesn't know where he needs to go. He just walks in a random direction. Only thing he could hear is his own footsteps echoing through the void. The entire ground was covered by a thick black fog, and the ground itself was a hard rock surface, a hard black rock surface. Lancelot finally saw something else besides emptiness. He saw some sort of pitch black mountains with razor sharp edges scattered all around, and all different kinds of rock hills made out of rock, and large canyons and mountains in the distance. When Lancelot got to the clearing on the edge of a cliffside, he saw a large pitch black temple in the distance, but the fog was clearly pretty thick. It's hard to see the entire structure. Marvelous, isn't it? Lancelot spun around on pure instinct. He created a black sword. It's perfect for his height and size, in the palm of his hand, using only void energy on pure instinct. I think I'm gonna like you. Most impressive. My Void Walker, you already know how to use void energy on pure instinct. If I'm a betting woman. Impressive. Who are you? Where's my manners? Really don't have a technical name, as he gave the young man a curtsy. I really don't have a name per se, but you can just call me Mother of the Void. What do you mean, the Mother of the Void? It's only natural you don't know these things, my child. I am the Void itself, in a physical form. What is a Void Walker anyways? I keep hearing that phrase constantly. Everything will be revealed in good time. Now follow me. Why? So cautious, little one. I decided I would be your guide for your trials. You might not be here physically, but be warned, you could still die. So So don't delude yourself thinking you're not in any danger, despite your body not being present. Oh, and welcome home, my dear child. Home. I created this place. It's your home. This is the home of all void demons and darklings. Much, much more. You've only scratched the surface of the void. Now, come along. If I understand your situation, you don't have an infinite amount of time. Very well, Void Mother. None of that. Mother will be just fine. Now, come on. I'll explain as we walk. Where are we going exactly? To that temple you saw down upon that cliffside. That's where your trials officially begin. Like I said, I'm just your guide. I just took a special interest in you, after all. It's my personal right to do so. I might be young, but I'm not... I might be young, but I'm not stupid. If I am indeed a half-void demon, like that Darkkin, Shadowkin or whatever it's called, was telling the truth that's living in my shadow, that what he told me. So there has to be some sort of reason why I was left at that orphanage. I've always found that out to be highly suspicious, how I was left in a similar situation with other children that shares my unique condition upon arriving upon a orphanage. But they normally leave a note, but there was nothing left besides a black basket. Only left was one conclusion. I was left there purposely for some sort of scheme that you're plotting in the shadows. You're quite clever, but how do you know I'm even involved? If what you say is true, you are the void itself, you're definitely involved. You seem to be the scheming type. No offense. And what that angel was ranting about when he first arrived, he said something around the lines he couldn't believe having missed a void spawn. I'm not being as vulgar as he was when he said it, but that got me to think. And by that angel's remark, there has to be more than one void walker, as you keep referring to me. I have only one conclusion, that heaven is hunting any void walker on planet Earth. Not sure about the demons from hell living in the orphanage. There wasn't much on the subject in the orphanage itself. That's supposed to be being ran by the church. I'm very aware Mother Cassandra and Sister Victoria aren't human. I knew that a long time before that vile angel revealed himself, and long before the angel exposed their existence as vampires. How did that walking chicken phrase it? won't outright say it in its entirety. Use the elegant phrases as blood-sucking parasites. You are indeed correct. There were many of your kin, but heaven and hell has been hunting your fellow Voidwalkers. You are the only one that managed to survive. Or I could be lying, who knows? We might be void demons, but we're demons. We're not known for our kindness and truthfulness. My child. He put that away for a later date. There's a possibility there might be another one, but he's not too sure. As he wanted to get more information. Was I purposely left at the orphanage, that Pacific orphanage, because you knew there were vampires betraying themselves as nuns? The Void Mother just smiled at Lancelot. You are indeed clever, very clever boy. Yes, indeed you were placed there purposely. It was the safest option. If you were placed anywhere else, you most likely wouldn't have survived. The demons don't outright attack vampires. A vampire is a very isolated species. Still don't know why God, the god of those arrogant angels, would make such a species. Yes, it indeed would be very strange if what you said is true, if the so-called god had a hand in making vampires in some fashion. The angels mention it himself about the angels are not allowed to hurt vampires for some strange reason. I do love these topics and all, but I believe we have arrived. Lancelot is standing in front of the boundaries to the temple as a black stone pathway leading further towards the Black Temple. The black brick pathway that's leading towards the temple have black pillars on both sides of the pathway, all the way down to the temple itself. Each time he walked past a black stone pillar, the top of the pillar would light up with a purple flame. Each pillar on both sides would light up at the same time, one after another. The more he walked past, the more they lit up. As the fog increased, the closer they got to the temple, Lancelot could only speculate that they have their own language. If they have their own civilization and language somewhere out in the void. He knows nothing about this realm. He only thinks that because he saw some sort of engraving in some strange language on the pillars that he spot when he walked past. Lancelot has always found the unknown to be irritating. That's why he has such a desire, a lust for knowledge. He doesn't like the unknown. He doesn't just target a singular subject to learn on. He wants to learn all knowledge, everything, no matter how useless it seems to be. The black fog increased in density, getting more thicker the closer he got to the temple. But he could find his way with no trouble through the thick fog. He could easily see through this fog. He knew his eyesight was impressive, but he never knew it was this impressive to see through fog. Able to see at night, like it's daytime, is one thing, but seeing through thick fog is something entirely different. He took a mental note to experiment it with his eyesight and his other senses for future study. He'll also experiment with his other senses and natural abilities later on, but for now, he needs to have his complete focus on this trial. It's very unlikely it's a singular trial. It's probably several. Probably ask about it. He might be able to get a hint from the woman, but there's no point. He's going to find out regardless. So he kept his mouth shut and did not say anything, and continued to walk in complete silence. It's not really important. He's going to succeed no matter what trials he has to take. If he wants power, he needs to do this. And he'll never have... And he would have rather not have Sister Victoria get killed by that angel bastard. He would even dislike Mother Cassandra dying as well. He might not have the same type of close relationship like he has with Sister Victoria. But when it comes to Mother Cassandra, she was always fair with him, a stern woman, but ultimately fair. But the rest of the people at the orphanage, he could care less if they live or die. This is where we part ways. Good luck, my Void Walker. The Mother of the Void evaporated into the same color of fog that surrounded the temple and disappeared. As all the fog disappeared from around the temple instantly, leaving Lancelot by himself once again, as he found himself pretty much made it to the temple, as he begins to walk up the steps. As he's standing in front of some sort of huge black door with some sort of puzzle device on the door itself, Lancelot examined the main door to the temple and concluded it's some sort of puzzle. There are pieces of certain symbols on the door that can be moved in a certain order on a circular disc type of deal on the door, with different type of symbols that he has no clue on what they mean. And with his lack of knowledge, it's quite a daunting task for Lancelot. He noticed there was a smaller pathway a little bit away on the other side of the temple when he entered the small entryway. The torches inside the room lit up, revealing a large tablet engraved with some sort of language on it. And in the middle of the room, there's a pedestal. Above the pedestal is a floating, glowing purple crystal, just hovering slightly above the pedestal. That's pulsing energy. There is no other pathways further into the temple. It's a singular room. Interesting. This room was purposely placed here, specifically not too far away from the main entrance. Still don't recognize the language in the floating crystal above the black pedestal, hovering inches above it, quite ominous as well. And that crystal clearly was placed there purposely, but for what reason, I wonder? I know for certain that floating purple crystal is radiating void energy, slightly. I might be new to this type of energy, or any energy specifically, that I'm able to wield now. Similar to the energy that I used to create that weapon. It has a similar energy single. It seems that that shadow creature living in my shadow was correct. I finally do have some access to void energy. So I'm guessing some of my magic circuits, or void circuits as the creature said it was, I wonder, because I have void circuits instead of magical circuits, I'll be able to channel magic. It's a good possibility I might be able to channel this void energy and make it into and make it into some sort of spells. I'm going to have to test that later on, but for now, I need to figure out what's my next step. At least I have access to void energy. Not much. I'm guessing I probably haven't fully unlocked what I need. In theory, I might be able to use void energy, like mana. I still don't know nothing about this void energy. It could even be possible to use it like magic, or it might be not compatible whatsoever. I'm going to have to further test it at a later date when I'm no longer in mortal danger. If I didn't caught Mother Victoria using magic, I would never knew magic would. I would have never found out that magic even existed in the first place. There's only one way to find out how to proceed. As he gently placed the palm of his hand onto the glowing crystal, without no hesitation, the fact that he doesn't know what would happen if he touches it gave him enough reason to see what would happen exactly. Once Lancelot's palm made physical contact with the floating crystal, the ominous floating purple crystal, Lancelot was assaulted with a large amount of new information that's been forcefully planted into his brain. The information was so intense, Lancelot collapsed onto his knees and grabbed the top of his head by slightly pulling his hair. Both of his hands is on his head, pulling at his hair slightly, screaming out in pain. Not only there is a large amount of unknown information being forcibly inserted into his brain, there's also techniques and some sort of spells that's been implanted as well. Lancelot was unaware because he couldn't read the language. The specific crystal that he touched was the index crystal. For those who all want to take the trials, all the voidwalkers that take the trials at this temple, that gives them the proper information and beginner and basic skills that he needs to get through the temple successfully. All of the techniques and attacks he received were all beginner skills and spells that all Void Walkers now, Lancelot, has at his disposal. Lancelot was unaware of there's been many Void Walkers that have taken this trials. He might be the first that's been around in a long time, but he surely won't be the last, as he gets all the information he needs from that index crystal. Only reason Lancelot's brain wasn't overwhelmed or fried, leaving him brain dead, was the fact that he's half Void Demon, and that's only temporarily. His demonic side will slowly begin to take over his human DNA. He will be a full-fledged Void Demon. Well, Void Demon, Void Walker. He's a completely different type of species of Void Demon. He will always maintain his human appearance, but what's changing is his pure genetics. His body is being continuously improved in the real world, or on Earth, while his spirit is in the void. And once his void energy is fully unlocked with his void circuits, there is no stopping the transition. He could only contain it and slow it down, but it can't be stopped. The question is, when his humanity will vanish, not if his humanity will vanish. It is a matter of when, not a matter of if. Lancelot's left hand, covered the right side of his face, covering his eye. Suddenly, Lancelot cocked his head backwards and started to laugh insanely, as Lancelot has a crazy look in his eye and on his facial expression. It all makes sense now. All the answers I've been wondering has become clear. All the missing puzzle pieces has almost been collected and placed together. He managed to compose himself before he went into a blood rage. As his crazy expression dropped to his normal, non-expressional face he usually has, as he got up. I hate prophecies. It would be unwise of me to go against the prophecy, but I'll do this prophecy my way. There's only one thing that's out of my grasp. What exactly does this Void Mother has planned? Do you understand, now that I have the majority of the missing information, that has escaped my grasp? You know what, they keep calling me a Void Walker. According to the new information that's been implanted in my brain. What the Void Mother said is true, and there's been several Void Walkers that has been eliminated by Hell and Heaven. They've been hunting them down. And this is not the first time this has happened. Whoever this Void Mother is, she's done this before. I am not the first. This wasn't the first wave of Void Walkers she had sent out to be hunted down. for some unknown scheme. And according to the prophecy, one of the Void Walkers is destined to free the Void by breaking the seal that was placed upon it by the biblical God himself. Lancelot fixed his clothes to make sure he's presentable. There's a war coming, and I have no doubt I'm going to be the cause of it. There's no way I can fully comprehend the full grasp of the situation at my current age. I'm only 6 years old after all. But there's one thing I understand. There's a war coming, and it can't be stopped. I just wonder what side I'm going to be on at the end of the day. It's going to be quite interesting. No matter what, I'm going to be on the winning side regardless. Lancelot walked out of the Crystal Index chamber and made his way back to the main entrance to the temple. He instantly began to move around the puzzle pieces on the main door in his proper place. The middle of the door begins to swirl like sand and creating sand images of a birth of a Void Walker. Void Demon taking life force from a human and adding her own life force together, making a Void Walker. It eventually showed crude images of sand figures of the Void Walker fighting until it was eventually strucken down by a whole row of angels. As the sand image begins to dissipate and fall to the ground, as the door slowly opens upwards, releasing a chilling gust of stale air coming out of the temple and flying out of the main entrance of the temple. That's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judged by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.